What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today. It is the 23rd day of November, and here we are sitting at about $578, give or take. 9 hours, 25 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Looking like we made the right call by saying that it was a good time to buy yesterday. It's possible that we do have a double top. Let's see if it prevails, if we do go lower, or if there's implications in the charts that suggest that we do have higher to go. I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily time frame to finish up the video, okay? Maybe even the weekly time frame. I want to look at Zcash. Yeah, let's look at it on the Coinbase chart. That's fine. 1 hour time frame here. It is the weekend, okay? Weekends are prone to less liquidity. Therefore, false price action can take place, right? But here we are having a nice move up. Good volume coming in, okay? Kind of looks like a bull flag, kind of, right? You've got this like bull flag kind of look to you right here, and you look like you're breaking out right now. Let's look at your indicators. Actually, real quick before we do that, do I want? Yeah, let's look at your indicators. We'll pull up the fibs in a second. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI does look positive. It looks productive, and it looks like you want to continue pushing higher, so you probably do. The stochastics, right at an area to bounce, right at the 50 here. Likely area to bounce. I think that you will and persist higher. And then the MACD has crossed above the 0, which is also a positive thing. So really, I mean, it's possible that we do go lower. At the moment, you look at the daily time frame, there's a big wick to the upside. I theorize that by the end of this day, we're going to close that gap on the wick. We'll probably close today above $600. Maybe even above 630. We'll see, but I would think that we push higher. Hell, by the end of the day, we could be back close to $700. I don't think that we'll see 700 by the end of today, but we could be pushing toward, 670, 680, pushing towards $700 going into tomorrow, maybe to open up the new week. What's the week look like so far right now? Oh, it's a down week. Yeah, I would bet, 9 hours left in this week. I would bet that we do come back to close this week with a very substantial wick to the downside. We're going to close very neutral on the weekly time frame, probably red, but with a wick to the downside, a very massive wick to the downside. That's nice. That's nice. At least that's what I'm getting from the 1 hour time frame, right? This is suggesting that we bounce right now. If we don't bounce right now, if we do go below, let's say like $550, we likely do pull all the way back down to 500 or lower. Okay, understand that. So if 550 doesn't hold, like maybe you go a slight fake out below this low, we can account for that. But if 550 doesn't hold, we're probably going lower, probably below $500. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we do hold this. I think that we do push higher. 4 hour time frame, zooming out a little bit. Now I'll draw the fibs. Okay, looking at the high to the low here, we've interacted with the golden ratio. Typically meaning not always. Typically, we go to the golden ratio, you find resistance, you come back to the 0.5382 area for support, and then you move higher. We went right down to the 382 to find support. We're finding support there now. I would assume that we go higher. And the next target area to consider technically would be $670 to $701. Right up there between the 786 and the 886 Fibonacci retracement level. That'd be the next area to go to. And with that, just imagine real quick, okay, let's draw a circle to get our range encapsulated. Imagine that we have that look, right, where you've got higher lows. I can't draw a straight line, so let's just use a straight line. You've got higher lows, and you have a flat top. It's like an ascending triangle. And I'm drawing it to where the closing highs are, not to where the wicking highs are. Maybe we can put it at the wicking highs, whatever. It's an ascending triangle. Which is something, by the way, that we theorized back here. We were saying maybe we'll come up, we probably won't push through immediately. We'll probably consolidate and then push higher. We could push through immediately. We entertained that idea as well, but I think if I remember correctly, we were leaning more with the idea that we consolidate. And it wasn't necessarily a call that we'd see an ascending triangle. It's just that seemed to be the going prediction, because that's what we had back here, was somewhat of a ascending triangle pattern, right? You had this flat top with ascending lows there. I don't know. It was just the going thought. It's kind of funny how it's playing out right now. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, the RSI is bouncing off the oversold zone. We have lower lows in the price as well. The most oversold, it's the lowest readings that you've seen since August. I mean, since way back. Some people might hear that and you might think, wow, that's a good thing, but maybe not. Maybe that's a sign that we are, in fact, turning the tide a little bit. I don't know. We do have lower lows in the RSI. We do have lower highs in the RSI. That's not necessarily a good thing. So if I'm right in my assumption that we do push higher to about 670 to 700. Yes, 670 to $701. If we do push higher to that over the next day or two, we should be breaking then out of this lower high trend, which would be good. I think we need to. I think that we need to break that trend, because if this trend prevails and we come back down, that could really mess things up. Because again, where we are right now with Zcash is shaky grounds. Okay, you don't want to break below this, because up here there's a lot of people that are FOMOing in at the top, shaky grounds. If we go below, they'll panic sell, adding to the selling pressure. Up here, there's a lot of people who are taking profits. There's a lot of people who are considering taking profits, and they haven't yet. And again, shaky grounds, if we break below, they're going to take profits just on principle alone. So we don't want to see that happen. You want to push higher rather immediately and break through this lower high downtrend in your 4-hour RSI. If not, if we don't do that, that means that we come lower in the RSI. We'll probably come back down to the oversold zone, and if we do that, we will likely take out this low. If we do that, we'll be breaking out of this range, and we will be establishing basically a double top M pattern. Okay? So it's important that here, why we push higher is because if we don't, we're likely going back down here again, right? So break this. Show that you're breaking this, that you're not controlled by this. Show us that you're not going to go back down. I don't think you will. The 1 hour looks good enough. It's just the 4-hour RSI that's got me a little bit worried, if we're being fair. The stochastics look good. Stochastics suggest that we do have higher to go, which is nice, rather immediately too. And the MACD just crossed green itself with a little bit of a double bottom in the histogram here. So there's good things. The MACD, in all fairness, though, is bearish overall. Oscillators are at the same level that we were at when we were at our lows here. The MACD histogram is at the same levels that we were at whenever we were at our lows here, here, and here. Makes sense to me that we would push a little bit higher, and again, that push would be nice because it'll break this downtrend, it'll push this to the overbought zone, and it might even push us on the MACD back above the zero. So all good things coming, but it won't happen if you don't do that now. It won't happen if we do this. And if we do this, that's bad, right? So again, we become bearish on Zcash if any day closes below $500. We become bearish on Zcash if we see lower lows here, okay? So if the day hasn't closed yet, but we're at $468, we're bearish. We're bearish. What do I mean by we're bearish? I mean we're going below $300. We're bearish, okay? If we hold a higher low, we go below 500, but we hold a higher low, and then we come up and we close above 500, we're still bullish, okay? But a daily close below 500 or any kind of price below this low at all, we become bearish instantly, okay? Instantly. If I'm not making a video and you're like, C-Zar, what's going on? You're writing me in the comments, or you're trying to DM me on x.com. I don't check my DMs on X. I sit through certain things if some people I know are trying to get to me, like people in the space, but I really don't go through the DMs too much on X. And I do sit through the comments, but mainly to delete scam comments. So I'm not looking at everybody's comments there. But if you're trying to reach out to wonder what my thoughts are, understand if we're down here, my thoughts are bearish. We're going below, at least below 400, but likely below $300. Okay. I don't think that's what's going to happen. That's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because in case it does happen, I don't want people to make the wrong decision. If we come down here, we hold that as a higher low, we come back up, I don't want people to panic sell here. But I don't want you to be hanging left on the edge of a cliff whenever it's very obvious that you should have already bailed out. Okay. The 4-hour makes me think we go higher. The 1 hour makes me think that we go higher. But if we don't go higher right now, if it's been like a week and we're still here, or it's 2 days have gone by and we're back down below $500, things are different, right? But if we move higher now, if over the next couple of days we are moving higher, things are good. Looking at the daily time frame, daily RSI did have bearish divergence. We've already made that play. The daily RSI does have lower lows here while promoting higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence. That's a good thing. You've got lower lows since October. You broke out of your uptrend, lower lows here, and all the way through, you've done nothing but provide higher lows on your price. So that's hidden bullish divergence all the way. You're at the 50, a perfect area to bounce. I mean, the last time we were at the 50, we literally sent it up here, you know, from price as low as 430 all the way up to about 730. That was a $300 pump right there the last time we were at the 50. Here we're at 480. Might we go to 780 or higher? I would think if we get above these highs, we're just pushing on to 877 or higher. The MACD is bullish overall. Yes, you've crossed red. Yes, you are showing some significance on the histogram here, but overall you're bullish. Stochastics are bouncing from the same area that they bounced from before. There's a lot of indications here on the daily time frame that we do move higher, but if we get any kind of I'm sorry. If we get any kind of close below $500, that would likely be bad. Okay, if we break this ascending structure here, that would be bad. We don't want to do that. And why would it be bad? It's not that it would be detrimental to Zcash. It's not that Zcash will go to zero. It's that you've seen such a voluptuous move since August that it makes a lot of sense that you would see some kind of voluptuous downside as well, right? A standard retracement from here, just in the essence of standard retracement's sake, would put you back would put you back below $200. And I'm not thinking that we go below $200 personally. I don't know if we do, but we could. We could. And if you're hearing that and thinking, how can you say Zcash is going to see new all-time highs? How can you say that you're bullish long-term on Zcash if it goes all the way back below 200? This is crypto. You can see a 77% drop in the midst of a run that takes you up dramatically higher. It can happen. But I don't know if we go that low. I'm just saying from here, low to a high, a standard retracement back to the 382 would be a very significant drop in itself. And that is the risk you run if we break this structure here. Okay. At least something around $300. At least something around there. Which from 575 or even from 475, $100 less, that's still a lot of risk there. If anybody's wondering, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, here we are at $576. I would still say it's a good time to buy Zcash. I think that the buying signal is still on. I gave it a green light for buying. If we're above like 650, I would say maybe not. But there's still sizable gains. Even from this level, even from the highest points, there's still sizable gains to be made. You know, if we're going to 877, that's the prediction. That's still a 20% pump or more. But at that point, 20% pump to me is just not worth the potential downside risk, right? Here, at this price, it's about a 50% pump. That might be more worth it, right? It's a little bit more than double what the risk might be at the highs. So I think we had it perfect the other day, yesterday, when we were saying, or 2 days ago, sorry, whenever we were saying this is not a good time to buy, but it's not a good time to sell either. But here we said it's a good time to buy. Here we said it's a good time to buy. Here we did advocate for the sell, the first time we advocated for the sell. And just because I'm advocating for the sell or the buy doesn't mean you should do that, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is just my thoughts. And I do think that we push higher. If we look at this on a weekly time frame, the assumption here, and actually maybe we use it on the all-time history chart. The assumption that I have is that we're going to go up to the 1272 target of this fib from a significant macro high to our bear cycle low. Last cycle's bull market high to the bear market low, $877 awaits. That's the minimum target here. And if I'm right, then by the end of today, 9 hours, 11 minutes left, we should pull up a little bit more. There should be more of a wick and less of a body on this candle. We should be closing somewhere above $600 by the end of today. And if we're not above $600 by the end of today, that doesn't mean that we're going down. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong, but that's just something that I'm expecting personally. It'd be very odd, and not that odd things can't happen. They do happen. But it would be very odd to stop here below the 1272. I think that we hit that, and then we come down. That's that. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.